Every now and then I find myself with something I never expected. And this Lamborghini Huracan Evo is exactly that one thing.
This is lit.
I was doing my rounds around dealerships like always, because I'm a pathetic loser, and I went to see my friends at Lamborghini North Los Angeles, and they had this Evo Huracan sitting right there on the floor, and I asked them, how good is that car? And my friend told me, why don't you take it out and you see for yourself? And honestly, my mind has been blown with this. My mind has been blown away. Who's been blown? This is not your average mid-cycle refresh on a car. They really threw everything they had at this car, and this is why I'm obsessed with it. Number one, look at the front aero. Everything, all of the aero in this car is completely fixed, and it serves a whole different purpose from the one in the Performante. Why? Because again, this is supposed to be just the base car, the one that completes just with a 488, with a 570. This is the base car from Lamborghini. And again, the aero has been completely changed, and it's been changed in a way where it's eliminating turbulence, it's eliminating drag, like you see that on the front, like you see right here on the side vents, like you see on the back in perhaps one of the curviest lines I've ever seen in a Lamborghini in that fixed wing. And the reason why they do it is to eliminate drag and make this car completely more aerodynamic and fluid at high speeds, because this thing can reach 200 miles an hour. And they also kept some incredible details, like the Performante exhaust on the back, like those looks on the front, like that Performante 5.2 liter V10 engine that produces 631 horsepower and takes this car from 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. That is bananas. This is their entry car now, people. Lamborghini is really serious about what they're doing here. And the party doesn't even stop right here. The interior has been completely plushed out, if that's even a word. As you can tell, this is carbon fiber fabric, and it's insane with the gorgeous blue stitching details. Even just the mats are gorgeous. And what about the seats? These seats are incredibly comfortable, and you can ride this like an everyday car, basically. It feels just like an R8, and that's a really good thing when we're talking about daily driving abilities. And what can you tell me about the interior and all of its beautiful details? And again, we're taking the best from all of the cars, right? So you have the Performante-like screen with the Performante-like graphics on it. Also, you have a beautiful screen, and let me turn the car on so that you can see it come alive, which is insanely beautiful. And this screen is the one that you can find in a Centenario. So Lamborghini's really not playing around. They're really putting everything they have into the car, and they don't care. And I love it. It's so easy to use. It's a nice touchscreen. The one thing I have to say is you have to pay a lot more attention when you're driving, because it's kind of hard to switch back from whoop to there. But hey, I don't mind it. There's a few shortcuts in here, but everything's pretty much self-explanatory. Phone apps, sound, you're gonna click on everything. The screen is super responsive. Car settings, so that you can change anything that you want right there. And also vehicle, which basically helps you set up your exterior lighting, ambient lighting, door and mirrors whenever you get out and you want the mirrors to be closed or the lights to be on. Speed warnings in case you have a problem with speed, rain sensors, parking aid. Pretty much everything is right here. And that's not where the party ends. The insane thing about this car is that it's got a new brain, and by new brain I mean computer. And that computer does magic, basically, because this car doesn't have ALA, that fancy system that the Performante has, where air comes through the front and then it splits the air, and according to how much downforce you need on what side of the car, it's gonna open a vent so that you can throw more downforce with the air into the car. This is a completely different style. This does it with a smart suspension. This is doing it with torque vectoring. This is doing it with rear wheel steering and more. The computer in this thing is more than just a brain. I mean, it's making your driving experience so much better while you're in a comfortable car. And I think for me, this is not about the great looks, it's not about the great materials, it's not about the great sound from that V10, which is not overrated at all. I think it's one of the best sounding cars in the world. But it's about the drive. So I think we gotta take this out for a drive and see how it does. Because for being the base Lamborghini, and again, the base Huracan, the entry car to the Lamborghini family, this is bananas. For every single car manufacturer, the hardest thing to accomplish is to be able to give you their base model, the dayable car, the entry car that anyone can get into and drive from the brand, and also deliver both experiences. You can drive this every day so that you can show off to your friends down Rodeo Drive or wherever you're going to drive it to the club and have a good time. But also when you take it out to the canyons for a drive and you want to release some of that tension and put it on the road. And that's a balance that car manufacturers are now getting a hold of. And I think Lamborghini, with this iteration of the Huracan, has taken it to a whole new level. Because as you can see, it's very comfortable. It feels almost like an R8, and that's a beautiful thing when you're driving and dailing a car. But when you want it to go bananas, like right now the steering is not pressing on me, it's not nervous, it's not twitchy. The accelerator, it's the same thing. Brakes are always there for you. But whenever you want to go bananas and take advantage of the corners, you put it in manual, you put it in Corsa, and you fucking go. And just listen to the V10, my God. This is ridiculous. It feels so pointy. It's not as pointy as the Performante, but it's really damn close. Not a lot of people are going to be able to tell the difference. Whoa, the connection with the ground is incredible. With the road, you can place this car anywhere you want without any single problem. The brakes are incredible. You don't need the ALA to be able and assist you to take you out of the corners now, because that brain in the computer is doing all of the work for you, managing your suspension, your torque vectoring. Ooh, it really doesn't give your brain any time to process anything other than I'm driving a really fast car and somehow I'm still talking. This is an incredible marriage of comfort and extreme performance, and Lamborghini has pulled it off better than anyone because they kept that V10 in the car. It gives you that raw emotion. It feels very, very intense. It puts a big smile on your face whenever you hear it. You feel the downshifts. The gearbox is phenomenal, obviously. The connection to the ground is amazing. The placement of the car is perfect. The brakes are there every single time. The power, and again, the excitement from just listening to those shifts. It's unreal. This car is unreal. This is the car that changed everything for Lamborghini. This is the evolution of a brand like we've never seen. Why? Because they're delivering us quality products everywhere, on the interior, on the exterior, with the computers. And at the same time, exciting products that can do both things. And that you can have the best of both worlds with your entry-level Lamborghini. And the best part, it won't catch on fire.